Hello and welcome to the KWizard Pro Getting Started video series. On this video we're going to cover several topics, and the first one is creating custom functions. So here on my script, one of the first things I do is log into my web page to report a bug. And logging in is something that I will do often for future scripts whenever I interact with this web page. So what I like to do is I like to make these logging steps to be a separate function, a separate script. That makes it easier to maintain in case there's changes to the process in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand new script, and I'm just going to call it, let's call it a logging function. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my eval script here. I'm going to select the 3 steps for login. I'm going to copy them and then go to the empty script and paste them. So that's all I need for my login function script. And then I go back to the eval script, and here I will just comment out these steps. I like to just comment out in case the script doesn't work. That way I can go back and uncomment them out. Here I'm going to add a blank line to improve readability, and now I'm going to add a statement. And I'm going to use the call script statement to call my login function script. And that's all I need to do to call the other script to create my custom function script. Next, let's talk about using external data sheets. So if you recall, in the first script I'm filling out a bug report form. So what I like to do is I like to take that information from an Excel spreadsheet. Instead of using the hard-coded information that I entered during the record process, I like to take information from an external source. As I mentioned, in my case, it's an Excel sheet. So under external data sheets, I'm going to click on Create Data Sheet. And here I'm going to link to the external source. Here I'll browse to the location of my Excel file. And it is on sheet 1, and the first row contains headers, so I'll make sure to check that box. Next, I have to give the datasheet a name and click on Finish. So here's the datasheet, and as you can see, it contains 3 rows of data. So there are several ways to use the datasheet, and I'm going to show you the simplest one. And here, what you do is you select WYSIWYG Bugs or datasheet as a data source. And then the statements that will use the datasheet, you need to edit them. So here, where I enter the first name, instead of using text, I'm going to say datasheet and select the column for that corresponds to that control. So I'll do the same for last name and so forth. I'll use that for the remaining fields in the form. Now the process is the same for combo boxes. So if we look at the combo box where I selected the product, it's the same thing. Select datasheet and select the column that contains the product. The last thing I'd like to talk about in this video is using checkpoints. So at the end of the script, when we submit our bug, we close the browser, and this happens on the thank you form. Now the thank you form also gives us information about the bug, a summary, a ticket number. So I'd like to make sure that is displayed to the user. So I'm going to drag the control into the script and use a check exists. This checkpoint allows me to make sure that that table with information is shown to the user. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to generate a warning. I don't want the script to stop from playing if this doesn't show up. I just want to log a warning if that control is not returned. And here I'll add a warning that will be added to the report. Yeah, so that's all I need to do. So now I am ready to run the script and test out my additions to the script. So the script is going to run 3 times, once for each row in the data sheet. So in the first one, it's going to log in, and here it's using the call script statement, and now it's filling out the form based on the first row of the data sheet. So now it's going to start the second iteration and use the information based on the second row of the data sheet. And then it's going to use a third iteration with information from the third row in the data sheet. So here in the report, we can see that there are 3 runs for both the eval script and the login function script, and all succeeded. As we scroll down, we can see information about the first iteration for both scripts. We can see no warnings either. And then as we scroll down, we'll see information for the second iteration, and then the third iteration. If you have any more questions on QBooster Pro, please visit www.cpan.com and blogs.cpan.com.